Hello, Dawn Moore, Allegiance Title Company. This video is part 2 in my series on the survey's impact on title and the importance of getting a survey in each transaction. I ended last week's video with a question. If a survey is defective, can a buyer still be protected against a claim of adverse possession to his property for an overlapping improvement or an encroachment that's not reflected on the survey? To answer that question, I must first explain that an owner's title policy contains a standard exception to title coverage to delete any coverage for discrepancies, conflicts, shortages in area or boundary lines, encroachments, protrusions, or overlapping improvements. However, this standard exception to title can be amended to delete any exceptions to discrepancies or conflicts in boundary lines, overlapping improvements, encroachments, or protrusions. Basically, I call that ensuring the accuracy of the survey when we delete those exceptions. However, the only way a title company can basically ensure the accuracy of the survey by deleting those exceptions to title, the title company must first have an acceptable survey and receive a payment of additional premium. In the case of residential property, the additional premium for this coverage is 5% of the base rate of the owner's title policy for that transaction. For non-residential properties, the cost of this coverage is 15% of the base rate of the owner's title policy in that transaction. With this extra coverage, if there is a claim by a neighbor for adverse possession to a piece of my property, then I, or the insurance company, will have to defend the claim and resolve it, or pay the insured the loss of title to that property. An example of how an adverse possession claim develops and when this extra coverage would benefit the buyer is when a fence of the neighbors encroaches onto the insured's property in such a way that it occupies the insured property open and hostile or exclusive in favor of the neighbor, and this possession has occurred over several years, generally 25 years. If the survey fails to reflect this encroachment, and the insured goes to use this property over which the fence encroaches, then the neighbor claims that it is his property and that he has acquired it over time, it is the title insurance company that will be required to defend the claim and pay all legal fees to defend the claim, or pay the insured his loss of value of the property because of this adverse claim. Although there are very few title insurance claims under the survey provision of the title policy, the cost of this coverage is also minor in the scheme of things. And when you understand that all that is required of a residential surveyor is to find only one iron monument or one iron pin for a corner, and then he can set the 3 others, you can understand why you might see 2 different surveys on the same piece of property. One surveyor finds one of the iron pins and sets the 3 others, and years later another surveyor comes in and finds one of the set iron pins and sets 3 others. Movements of inches are sometimes inevitable. Insurance coverage is wise. Bottom line, I do recommend getting this extra title insurance. The 1-to-4 family contract under paragraph 6A8 addresses this coverage and makes it a buyer's option and a buyer's expense. I hope these last 2 videos on surveys have addressed any questions your clients may have as to the importance of getting a survey, either existing or new, on each transaction. Allegiance Title wants to be your resource for results. Thank you for your support.